has her hair. She goes, that's not really good picture of it, but.
First one we got second, then we got third. Sammy Bill beat us, and then two.
Right there.
Which one?
I see Mary.
No. Yeah. Before you guys were in the program, top 5 was like our goal. Third place, crime. Yeah, we're always shooting for top. Yeah. No, we don't. Wait, do we have to go up there? What's in the hair in the back? My hair, not you. Go up and take a picture and you sit down. Stop being long.
So that's like how she wears her hair. Like,
Oh, that's
all
better.
braided and then back. Yeah, I don't know what it is. So that's Lauren. She's a beast.
I was
Spice.
stay till tomorrow, but it's time to shower. Or showering.
I need to do my hair.
In the shower. One thing I'm I want that.
Yeah, except that I don't know. It's not the right one. You guys are. I need to like tell that people. No one else has it. No one else has it.
Yeah, what about it?
Where'd he come from? You have to say a whole piece of patties. So after this, I have to go stop and shop and get like cheese crackers. I have to bring scissors tomorrow night for sibs.
I know you're lying.
Oh yeah. I just came from there. So South side? We just went to the pediatrician today.
No one showed up. Are you kidding?
Yeah. She had such a
So cheer. You guys are going to be first. Picture right there. Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's hard.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Shoreham-Wading River Board of Public Education meeting, December 10th meeting. Can I please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Welcome again, everyone. Quick housekeeping item. As part of our ongoing commitment to inclusive community engagement, those joining virtually can now email questions and comments to the Shoreham-Wading SWR BOE meeting at k12.ny.us for inclusion during our second public comment period. First up, the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion? First, Megan. Second, Jim L. Any discussions or questions? Okay to vote? 6-0. No. 5-0. 5-0. Sorry, can't count. Next up, Superintendent's report. Mr. Poole.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. And for the first part of my report, I'm going to turn it over to our ex officio student trustee, Mr. Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. Good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to see a room full of people voluntarily attend a Board of Ed meeting. To begin with my student report, of course, we are starting with our students' athletics. Alyssa Bell has been named in the top 100 Long Island high school girl basketball players. The varsity cheerleader team secured a first-place win in their regional competition in West Hampton. The SWR boys track team took on 50 teams and over 2,000 competitors at the iconic Armory in New York City last Friday, where Michael Hubner dominated the 600-meter run and took first place. Patrick Shea beat his personal record in the 1,000-meter run and won first place, and Leighton Benjamelli also soared to victory in the high jump. All winter sports have officially begun, and we wish our teams the best of luck this season. Here are some awards and acknowledgments of student success. 16 of our high school students represented the district's music program in the recent New York State Council of Administrators of Music Education Suffolk All-County Music Festival. 4 high school students in the science research program have completed the Regeneron Science Talent Search applications, one of the most challenging and prestigious accomplishments available to high school scientists. Auditions for this year's Coffee House have just wrapped up. This year will be full of amazing performances. Coffee House will take place in the afternoon on Friday, December 20th. The 5th annual door decorating contest is ongoing, and many home bases are bringing out their holiday cheer. Winners will be announced at Coffee House. Next, we have several upcoming opportunities for students to get involved with. The National Honor Society is hosting a blood drive tomorrow, where students are welcome to volunteer to help run the event, and anyone over the age of 16 can also donate blood. This Friday, Wading River Elementary is hosting a gingerbread night, and they would love high school volunteers to help out. This concludes my student report. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. And for a few other happenings across the district, at the middle school concert was held last Wednesday at the high school. Students from all grades performed with their groups. Guests were treated to performances from our audition groups, including the Quarter Tones, Chromatics, Jazz Band, and Chamber Orchestra. It was a great show all around. 7th graders went on a field trip to the film Wicked as a culmination to their fractured fairy tale unit in their English language arts classes. And the 6th grade is headed to Theater 3 on Thursday to see a live performance of A Christmas Carol. Over at Wading River, the winter concert for 4th and 5th grade is coming up and will be held at 6 and 7:30 p.m. this Thursday, December 12th. 3rd graders will be performing on Monday the 16th at 6:30 p.m. 4th graders will have a special immersive learning experience as they journey into American territory with a special arts and ed program on Wednesday and Thursday. The PTA's Gingerbread Night will be this Friday at 6 p.m. and the Holiday Boutique will be the week of December 16th. Over at Miller Avenue, the annual Balloons Over Miller Avenue Parade was held on the day before Thanksgiving break. Our 1st grade students had the opportunity to visit the Brookhaven National Laboratory last month for some hands-on science lessons. And the Miller Avenue PTO will be hosting the annual holiday shopping event for all students this week. The in-school chorus performances will be held for kindergarten class on December 18th and 19th. And our 2nd grade chorus will be performing at the Shoreham-Wading River High School on Monday, December 16th at 4:30 p.m. And a few items on the agenda for tonight. We will be recognizing our Regeneron students and AP scholars, as well as our fall athletes. And we have a STEM update tonight from Dr. Palicelli. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. Moving on to opportunity for board members. No? Okay. Next up, statements from residents. Stephanie, anything? Okay. Moving right along to student and staff recognition. First up, we have the Regeneron students, presented by Ms. Dana Schaefer.
No.
I know.
I don't have slides. I guess stand up. I had no idea I was supposed to be presenting them tonight. So surprise to me.
We want them to come up and be recognized, get a
Yes.
kind of excellence, get a
Yes.
nice photo.
Come on, guys. Come on up here. I'm not the one who did it. So They are all in their 4th year of the science research program. Regeneron Science Talent Search is one of the most prestigious competitions in the country. It's obviously hosted by the Regeneron organization, and this is not just their individual science projects that they have done research on for the last couple of years, but it is a measure of them as a whole. Their qualifications as a student in STEM all around. So Juliana O'Neill, Anna Minetti, Caitlin Schaefer, and Sasha Seletsky.
Ms.
Would you like
Schaefer,
to come up there, Mr. Cole?
could they all come up for a photo and get a pin?
We're supposed to go down here because there's a presentation for AP scholars now. Yeah.
Well, that one was documented. Wrong seat. This is my first time serving or sitting in as the president, so, and I can't see anything, but I appreciate the audience and having a laugh at my expense. All right. Moving on to AP Scholars, being presented by Mr. Lilla and Mr. Ackerman.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we are giving a special recognition certificate to the students who are identified by College Board for having demonstrated outstanding college-level achievement through their performance on multiple AP exams. If you are in attendance and hear your name, please come up to accept your award from Mr. Ackerman. The first certificate is the AP Scholar Award. This award is granted to students who receive scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. Haley Abrams, Amariah Burtz, Leah Carberry, Emma Granshaw, Abigail Haverty, Adam LaRosa, Grace Benaric, Caitlin Monahan, Aiden Morrison, Giovanna Olivo, Brody Pisco, Hannah Rafus, Kate Retman, Athena Sartain, Leia Serio, Sophia Stadler, Alexandra Souls, Hannah Wizamirski, and Rebecca Zorach.
Just be careful. Be careful.
That's perfect. Right there. Perfect.
Great job, guys.
Okay, what's happening with Jerry?
The second set of awards is the AP Scholar Award with honor. This award is granted to students who received an average score of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. These awards go to Michael Iberger, Juliana Marturiello, Angelina Price, Caitlin Schaefer, Ray Tang, and Andrew Wicks. And the final certificate is the AP Scholar Award with distinction. This award is granted to students who received an average score of 3.5 on all AP exams taken and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. And that award goes to Nick Dean, Ava Gangler, Eden Hugh, Giovanni Lombardi, Karen McGuire, Leah McQuaid, Anna Minetti, Lee Minty, Jocelyn Nastasi, Juliana O'Neill, Caitlin Roberts, Ryan Seville, Alexandra Selitskaya, and Patrick Shea.
It's usually junior.
Thank you.
So it's, oh yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. No, true. Absolutely. Yeah, Forrest won't have that many. He'll probably have 4 total. He won't have 3 by. He'll only have 2. Only have 2. It is chilly. It's cold. You know what it is. Huh? I think they're probably 10. I think they're probably 10. My
far away to catch it from this kid.
Next up, Mr. Eric Bromoff, Fall Athletic Recognition.
Thank you. Mr. Poole and the Board of Education, I'm going to give you guys a little break from the blinding light up there. If you could come on down, maybe sit in the front row, we'd be able to see the athletes and you'll get your sight back. So. Does this thing work? Alan, it's not advanced. I'll go without it. I can go without it. It's not advancing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first off, I'd like to thank Superintendent Poole and the Board of Education for allowing me to present our amazing student athletes from our fall 2024 season tonight. We're having a bit of technical difficulties, but we're gonna move past it. All right. Well, I have a slideshow prepared. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. I'm going to need that back. How am I doing, Mr. Poole? All right. I'll just throw the hand up. All right. Education is an extension of the classroom. And this year, next slide, please. I'd like just to point out something that we don't want to glaze over too quickly here is every single fall team achieved a Scholar Athlete Award, and their GPAs are listed here. Any team that gets above a 90 as a composite GPA is awarded the Scholar Athlete Award. This leaves us in the running for the School of Distinction, which would be at the end of the season. At the end of the school year, we'd be able to have the award of distinction, which would be 100% of our teams. I've invited all of our fall, all 180 student athletes from the fall to come tonight. And at this time, could you just stand and be recognized for this amazing achievement? Please stand if you're an athlete. Excellent. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the teaching staff, the custodians, the security, the bus drivers, and everybody that makes this go, especially the coaches, the parents, but mainly to the student athletes. You passed the test, mission accomplished. We are all student athletes first, and congratulations. Next slide, please. Now we're going to take it to competition. I am proud to present your 2024 Game Day Cheer County Champions, our varsity cheer team. Could you please come up to the stage for a photo? The girls won the county championship in game day cheer this year. I believe for the first time in school history. Am I correct, Coach? For the first time in school history, they went upstate. Next slide, please. They went upstate to represent us at the New York State Championships, where they're planning on going back next year. And the girls, for their first competition of the winter season, have already secured a victory, so they are in first place in the winter season. Our cheer program is on fire, and this is your 2024 Game Day County Championship cheerleading team. Congratulations, girls. At this time, I'd like to call Coach Gilmore and the three-time defending county champion girls soccer team to the stage. The girls are going to need a wheelbarrow because there's a lot of awards to bring up there. Not only did they win the three-peat county championship, next slide please, the girls advanced to defend their Long Island championship with a 2-0 victory over Wantagh. The Shoreham-Wading River Girls Soccer Program is synonymous throughout the state. We are considered a powerhouse, and this is just another team that is amazing that Coach Gilmore and her staff have turned out year after year. So congratulations to your Long Island champion girls soccer team. Girls, shuffle to the left, please. Thank you. You know what? We can just shut the projector off. I'll go from here. All right. Congratulations, girls, on your Long Island championship. I'd like to call our state champion swimmer to the stage, Miss Emily Herr. As Emily's walking up to the stage, I'll start talking about her illustrious career. She is a 9-time county champion in the pool. This year, she completed the job and she won her state championship in the 200-yard individual medley at the state championships held up in Rochester. Congratulations to Emily. Emily's Wildcat career is not over because she's swimming for Villanova next year in the fall, so congratulations to our state champion. At this time, we're going to read off our athletes for their individual awards. As I call off your name, please come up to the stage. There's going to be a lot of you, and we'll take a group photo. And then at the end of tonight's presentation, you will receive your certificates and pins out in the lobby. Our all-academic team, Ryan Seville, Isabel Roth, Caitlin Monahan, Patrick Shea, and Emily Herr. Joining our all-academic team is the all-league team. Charlotte Erb, Brooke Farley, Chloe Yeager, Hannah Refuse, Caroline DeAndre, Troy Dietz, Brody Constantine, Matthew Thompson, Terrence Winters, Alexander Soltz, Brooke Rand, David Formisano, excuse the pronunciation, Brady Kitchen, Spencer Lee, Patrick Shea, Ellen Nowaski, Johanna Oceanfeld, excuse the pronunciation, Shaylin Verbero, joined by our all-classification team, Grace Tufano, Jocelyn Kavanaugh, joined by our all-conference team, Troy Dietz, Brody Castantine, Emily Martinez, Mia Wentz, Patrick Moreno, Zach Makarevich, Tyler Nowowski, David Formansano, James Cook, Brady Kitchen, Spencer Lee, and Patrick Shea. Now for our all-division team, Sean Casey, Mike Casey, Michael Hubner, Sal Malia, Noah Gregoric, Keegan Selner, Mike Eibninger, Lucas Diamond, and Maggie Anderson. For our all-county honorable mention, Caitlin Monahan and Marissa Cacchiola, excuse the pronunciation. I present to you your all-league, all-division, all-conference, all-everything team. Give them a round of applause as we take a picture. We're going to leave the projector off for this one for lighting purposes. At this time, I'm going to call our all-county team to the stage. You will receive a pin from the Board of Education. We're going to start it off with gymnastics. Alyssa Wood, all-county. Varsity swimming, Emily Herr. Football, Sean Casey. Football, Mike Casey. Golf, Brody Constantine. Soccer, Patrick Moreno. Soccer, Olivia Pesso. Soccer, Mia Mangano. Soccer, Morgan Lesowich. Soccer, Aver Gangler. Tennis, Christina Pagnazzi. Boys volleyball, Michael Pfeiffer. Cross country, Spencer Lee. Cross country, Patrick Shea. Field hockey, Haley Abrams. Field hockey, Reese Macario. Field hockey, Ellie Arena. Field hockey, Madison Herr. Cheer, Katie Leahy. Cheer, Jocelyn Basold. Cheer, Kelly Hudson. And cross country, Ellie Connell. Now we're going to add our all-state athletes to this team. First, all-state varsity field hockey, Madison Herr. All-state swimming, Emily Herr. All-state girls soccer, Morgan Lesowich. All-state, all-region, and Suffolk County Player of the Year, Olivia Pesso, girls soccer. Your 2024 fall all-county, all-state athletes. Once again, congratulations to all our student athletes. You can join me in the lobby to pick up your certificates for being a scholar athlete as well as your pins. And thank you very much, Mr. Poole.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yo, can we like go? Just go this. Yeah, go this way. I can't stand it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ready? All right. Next up, we have old business. I think, Stephanie, none for that? Old business? Okay. Reports and reviews. We're looking to get a STEM up program update. Mr. Joseph Pellicelli. No, there's a presentation.
They must not have known that we were doing a STEM update tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight and to speak on the highlights that are going on in the STEM department. I'm excited to be here. By start, can we go to the next slide, please? So if I could start tonight just by recapping a little bit from last year. So as we've been on our trek to implement the next generation science standards, we completed our course updates in our middle school, 6th through 8th, the living science, the physical science, and the earth science of the 8th grade. This year we're preparing, well, last year we prepared to begin the earth science course, the new earth science course, and the new biology course. So those plans we completed last year, we are implementing this year. Last year we completed a plan to incorporate our computer science standards, so those plans were laid and we are executing those this year. Last year we had the administration of the new computer-based 5th and 8th grade science assessments, and I'm telling you something that Mr. Meinster already shared, that our students did very well on those exams. Hats off to our teachers for their preparation of our students. We had a new algebra regents last year that was aligned to the next gen math standards. As Mr. Meister already reported, our students did very well on that. We started our apiary, so our bees were installed in April, just a few months ago. We had News 12 come out. They did a nice article on Mr. No-Hill and the program. We had 2 Regeneron SDS applications for the first time in Shoreham-Wading River history. And we had a high school robotics team that began competing. So those are some of the highlights from the prior year that we're continuing on into this year. Next slide. So let's talk about next generation science first. So the plans that we laid last year for our earth science, for our new earth science course and our new biology course, we're executing this year. Our courses are transitioned. Our teachers are prepared. A lot of the preparations that we did that I listed up there, just to give you a flavor of what the coursework that we've been doing for the last several years. So we've had not just collaboration time amongst colleagues, but we've also, the teachers have attended multiple BOCES workshops. We've done inter-district professional development with Miller Place, so our teachers got to interface with them. We've used Dr. Kang, a professional developer, to help impart some wisdom and bring some of the standards to life to help our teachers acclimate quickly. We've done curriculum development. We've brought on a test generator that was aligned to the next generation science standards. We did some field testing last year from New York State, so we got to see what the exams look like ahead of time. And the observations. So we've been doing peer observations. I've been doing observations. Dr. Kang did observations of our teachers and watching them as they transition. And some of the pictures I got to share with you. You have Miss Acker on the top left-hand side. Those kids had to design an experiment to prove that a popcorn kernel has to have 14% water in it in order to pop. Now, it sounds like something simple, but the kids had to come up with their own experiment, their own way of figuring that out. On the right-hand side in Miss Sandra's class, the kids had to identify which color light actually impacts photosynthesis. So is photosynthesis faster under green light, blue light, clear light? The kids had to design the experiment. They had to decide which data they would collect, how they would collect it. They had to write up their data table, and then they had to execute the collection. So the pictures below, before I move on, so our teachers have totally adapted their lessons. So instead of just, I say that we were doing lab activities last year, we've taken lab activities to a whole new level where the kids are really designing their activities now. The pictures below actually show our teachers being students. So last year, New York State required investigations, science investigations, 3 for earth science and 3 for biology, that are required for our students to complete before the Regents exam. They didn't release those directions until May of last year, and we're implementing the course in September. So here are our teachers being students. Dr. Kang is actually teaching them the investigation. So the teachers got to walk through them as students, hands-on. We got to make a lot of let's say, aids to help us. So some visual representations that can help with help with this, some of the materials that we needed. We were able to glean that from the very beginning because we got to have the teachers walk through it themselves as students. So to continue with the next generation of mathematics, so Eureka Squared updated their program to incorporate the New York edition. So they incorporated some of the small nuances that New York has compared to other states. So it was a very minor transition, but one that the teachers and I walked through together. We had conversations. I've been listening to their suggestions as far as the end of module assessments and some of the lessons. So we've had some awesome PD discussions early in the morning. We've implemented some new mid-module assessments. Some of the modules are long, and we wanted to have another measure just to monitor our students' progress as we were progressing through these units. Our elementary math intervention program, so we, as working with Mr. Meinster and with Ms. Von Eschen, we are working on an MTSS plan for the district. So in our elementary math program, we've been looking for tools to help us not just identify where a student struggles, to quantify, so that way we know we can clearly identify which students need a pull-out intervention, which students don't, and specifically the areas that they need support in. We can also feed that information back to teachers. We've trialed multiple tools, and we're going to be piloting one to see if it totally meets our needs. That is ongoing right now. Our 6th grade math teachers have started a collaboration. This was colleague to colleague. Our 6th grade teachers, along with our 7th and 8th grade math teachers at Purdell Middle School, have started working together, collaborating on instructional strategies to make sure it's looked at longitudinally. So Math 6 is a clear feed to Math 7, and those concepts are being taught up. So that collaboration happened from colleague to colleague. So I'm really glad, and they're keeping me in the loop on those conversations, so that way I can help guide them. But I'm excited that they are listening, that they're being open with each other. The new algebra exam, so we were able to take, so we may have had, 99.1% passing rate, but our mastery rate, we wanted to take a closer look at our mastery rate. So with the 7th and 8th grade math teachers, we looked at the results of the new algebra exam from this past June, and we identified some of the areas and are teaching into that. We have our new geometry course that is starting today, this year, that's aligned to the next gen math standards. We've already reviewed the standards as a high school math department. We've already updated our scope and sequence, and we're teaching into that this year. So our computer science standards, as I mentioned, our plans, we worked out a K through 12 plan to implement the computer science standards. And we are exercising that plan this year, and it's going on K through 12. Just to highlight a few of the areas, I think some of you may have had your children may have had the experience of the Indy cars, those little robot cars. I tell you what, I have never seen student engagement. You're watching kids problem solve and figure out. Basically, they put colored mats, and the robot does a certain action based on the color that the robot sees. So kids had to decide which mat they want to use to make the car move in a certain course, in a certain around a certain obstacle or in a circle. They had to actually decide, and watching kids work together to figure that out was absolutely fantastic. What was totally telling is when they were finished with a session with Miss Laval, one of the kids asked if recess was over. So they didn't even realize that they were programming robots. It was a sequential step-by-step. They didn't even realize they were having so much fun. What a huge find. That was Miss Laval. I got to give a lot of credit to Miss Laval for reaching out to our model schools with BOCEs. We borrowed those cars. We were able to do multiple lessons at Miller Avenue and Wading River, and got such rave reviews from teachers on that activity. So we do plan on continuing that. We also, part of the computer science standards, we leveraged a product that we already use. So we already used a product called learning.com in K through 5. It's also affectionately known as EasyTech. we were using it as a keyboarding tool. Well, Easy Tech meets a lot of the computer science standards. So the picture in the center, in the bottom center, that's Miss Laval, myself, and Miss Roberts going through lesson by lesson for each grade level and assigning the lessons that met the standards for that grade level, so that way teachers on their library time, they have this option where kids can walk through these lessons and we can meet the standards that way. So thank you to Miss Roberts and Miss Laval for making that happen. At the middle school, the Family and Consumer Science, Miss Berg is teaching lessons on our digital footprint. Mr. Driscoll in our middle school tech program, he's incorporating the Lego programming into this year, so not just as a club, but incorporating that into the coursework. At our middle school library, Miss Kalin, her idea last year was Tech Tubs, where she creates these activities where teachers can start them in the library and then take them back to the classroom for the following days. If an activity lasts more than a 40-minute period, the teacher can take that back to the classroom and follow through on that activity. So one of the activities is in the bottom right-hand picture. It's actually, if anybody's familiar with a Raspberry Pi, the kids actually have to assemble a computer. It's a microcomputer, but it has all the pieces and parts of a regular computer and all the functions of a regular computer. Kids have to assemble it. So that's not something that's going to happen in a 40-minute period. Ms. Kalin has packaged that into a tech tub for a teacher to start the activity in the library and then take it back to the classroom. So they also have a 3D printer, you're probably aware of that, and they use Tinkercad to design parts for the 3D printer. At the high school, I definitely have to acknowledge Mr. Mancuso, who is taking our digital literacy program, the initiative of his thoughts and his ideas. I tell you what, a lot of the stuff that he is teaching kids, when he tells me what unit he's on, I wish I need some of that class right now. He was talking about routers, what routers do, and how they work as an access point, and he was going into terms and functions that I knew pieces of. I never really well put it together. So Mr. Mancuso is doing a fantastic job there. He's been covering the evolution of computer science, the hardware, cybersecurity, networks. He actually has reached out to, or his goal is to have our own IT folks show our kids what a real server looks like, what real switches look like, what a real network setup looks like. So we're already trying to incorporate some guest speakers and field trips, and we're going to start right here. We have the equipment right here for kids to see. So in our business program, I like to highlight our virtual enterprise. Again, another high enrollment year for us. We had to have 2 sections of it to accommodate the student interest. They have already formed their companies, so we have a Write Bright and Zippies are the 2 companies that they formed. One focusing on after a workout, what you would eat to help your muscles recover from a workout, and the other team is doing a special a bag that you can put dry food in that has some adaptations advancing on the current plastic baggies. So they've already presented at the LIU Leadership Conference not too long ago. We have not heard back about any placements yet. They have an East End networking trade show on the 18th of December. They have another, the New York State Conference and Exhibition on January 8th. And just as a reminder that this is the capstone course of a rigorous pathway that we set in place that we had approved by New York State that culminates in this virtual enterprise class. It also, most of these courses in this pathway offer dual enrollment for those that are interested. So our Long Island sustainability, so that is Mr. Nohill, and because it's more than just the hives. So yes, Mr. Nohill's initiative, he wanted those hives, and we have 3 hives that are kind of winterized at this point. So an education for me that in these temperatures, the bees like to cluster to keep warm, to keep the queen warm. So our goal at this point is to discourage flight. So you'll see that the shed the windows have been blocked to try and darken it out. We have special fans in there to try and keep the moisture out. he's prepared the hives, or I say he, the kids have prepared the hives with, got the name of it, it's not just sawdust, but to try and soak up the moisture so the moisture stays away from the bees. So we've done that, but beyond the bees, so during the winter time, he's going to be going into lessons about bee life cycle and behavior while they weekly monitor what's going on. In the interim, they're also going to continue on with hydroponic lessons. So we have the Sustainability 2 kids that are going to be teaching hydroponic lessons to our 5th grade classes. So they're going to be teaching mini lessons to our 5th grade students at Wading River, and then setting up the grow towers. We're going to start with Ms. Roberts' classroom and Mr. Gansey's classroom. So I think it's going to be awesome to have our kids kind of take on that role and teach that to the kids, and then set those grow towers up. In our science research, as you saw from Ms. Schaefer, our 4 Regeneron applicants. So beyond that, we have other projects that are going on in that program. A lot of them are from, I say, lower classmen that will be continuing on with these projects. So we have the lithium-ion battery degradation. We have does affection to chickens affect egg quality? So, you know, we have kids that looking at a lot of things at their choice, looking at different things like microplastics in exotic meats. Can invasive algae be used as fertilizer? Right. So a wide variety of different research topics that the kids are following through on this process, and I'm sure you'll be hearing about that in the next year or year after to come as these projects come to full fruition. We have 2 manuscripts that are in the final stages of development. The Chondrite Meteorite by Sasha Seltskaya and Derek Blanco for the pond sediment. Those are 2 manuscripts that are in their final stages. Ms. Schaefer was just recently designated as a principal investigator by Brookhaven National Laboratories for the IR microscopy. So she is actually going to be she's kind of taking the lead on whether it's scheduling, handling the proposals from different students, different schools. She's also going to be like the liaison with the scientist. So she's kind of been designated. Absolutely, yeah. Right? Am I saying that right? So at her initiative, looking for another competition for our kids to participate in, the National Science Teachers Association, the Junior Science and Humanities Symposium. She affectionately calls it JSHS. Says it really fast. Sometimes it's hard. That's okay. So we have 3 projects submitted to that. As Ms. Schaefer has described, that this competition focuses on the project, where Regeneron is focused on the whole student. So this competition, the NSTA competition, does have to go all the way to a national if the students' projects are selected. Right, in our technology department, so in our middle school activities, I don't know if I fully highlighted all the middle school activities that are going on. So we have added the Lego robot programming into this year. We had enough of the robots to be able to put this into the class, not just the club. We started off with this year, we kind of reordered things. So I don't want to take away from the hand dexterity of clock design and the clock building, but what we did is we wanted to lead and prioritize some of our engineering activities. So we started this year with bridge building in 7th grade instead of the clock building. So we're going to start with bridge building, and then we're going to move into either the rocketry project or the CO2 dragster before, and the clock project is going to sit towards the end of the year. So not something that we're going to eliminate, but something that we want to lead with some of our engineering activities. At the high school, so we've got Mr. Sigerson, a fairly new teacher. His initiative, he's taking this to, he's really using, he's a new, his training is recent, and he's applying his knowledge and bringing it into the classroom. So assembling and programming microcontrollers. He does like to take the kids to the bridge building competition at Brookhaven National Laboratory. And you know, truth be told, it is his brother. His brother is a mechanical engineer at Curtiss Wright. It's a manufacturing facility that builds valves and actuators for our submarines. So he is planning it. So we already had, his brother already came in and spoke to our kids about kind of what he does as a mechanical engineer. But we're also going to be planning a trip for the kids to go see what a manufacturing environment looks like. Jacob has started to use the rotary cutter, or he's planning to use the rotary cutter and the laser engraver, so that way they can actually use the laser engraver for the tumblers, for like the water bottles. So he's trying to up the game on the use of the laser engraver. And last year, at the end of the year, the kids were able to take the test for recreational certification for drones. So apparently that's something that everybody that flies a drone is supposed to have, that almost nobody does. Well, it is an online course with an online test. Jacob gets to teach into that, and all the kids took the test and have that certification. Right, our robotics team. So we started the robotics team at the middle school. We have 2 teams because of enrollment. We had so many kids that wanted to be a part of this team, that a part of this program, that we have they're our first Lego League teams. We have 2 of them. They are building the Lego stadium at this point. They're registered for a competition in January already. From the middle school side. So Mr. Driscoll is really, I was over there the other day watching the kids assemble it, and it was fantastic to see the enthusiasm. At the high school team, Mr. Sigerson has taken over our high school team, and he has created an organization where students are doing different tasks. So our competitiveness, part of the VEX part of the competition, the first like 15 seconds of the competition, is where the robot has to operate autonomously. And it has to make 3 points all by itself without user intervention. We were never able to do that because of the coding, the depth of the coding that it took. Well, this year we were able to do that. He is assigned, so he has not just one student, so he has a couple of students doing the mechanical part, but he had a couple of students working on the programming piece. So we're able to, by organizing those tasks the way he set it up, it's definitely made us a more competitive team. We got to work with, Mr. Sigerson reached out to Farmingdale, so our team got to meet with the Farmingdale team, and they got to work and collaborate together at Farmingdale. We hope to participate in 3 to 4 competitions for the year. So I do, as I walk through this, I mean, I can't leave this with, that it really can't go unsaid that the teachers that I've worked with, I'm really privileged to work with the teachers that I am. Beyond professionalism, their enthusiasm and their initiative for their respective areas has made my job very easy. I mean, it's really guiding their enthusiasm, guiding their efforts and their initiative. So the science teachers really embraced the next generation, this new way of teaching. They feel like first-year teachers this year, because they're designing brand new lessons on a regular basis that they've never had to do before, and they're doing it with enthusiasm. It's really very exciting. Our librarians, Miss Laval, looking for those indie cars. Miss Kalin initiated the tech tubs. Miss Hanson has been working with Mr. Mancuso to be able to take kids out of the digital literacy class where she can do some AI work with them in the library. So our librarians, Miss Cosgrove, handling our virtual enterprise and taking these companies, guiding kids through creating companies. We have Mr. Nohill with his bees, and now with this hydroponics. Ms. Schaefer with her efforts with coming up with new competitions and seeing kids all the way through and encouraging them all the way through. Mr. Mancuso with the digital literacy program, and Mr. Sigerson, the initiative of these teachers, it's just a privilege, and I wanted to make sure that I said that. This year's focus for me is to continue to support the new science courses. We got to see this all the way through to the exams. We are on track. We are preparing our chem and physics teachers because that's next year. So we are on track. We're continuing to prepare for that. So those new courses would start next year. Our digital literacy course So I'm constantly, obviously, in touch with Mr. Mancuso, supporting all his needs and guiding his efforts and watching him as he walks through that course through the year. I'd like to finalize a financial literacy course for all students in the high school next year. Maybe couple that with the digital literacy course. That will be a focus of mine for the year. That elementary math intervention process, that's important to connect with MTSS. So that's going to be a big focus for me. Increasing the makerspace opportunities at the elementary school and the problem-solving activities like the breakout boxes, that's a big focus for me. Increasing the guest speaker and the field trip opportunities for our kids, and continuing to support that middle school robotics club and the high school robotics club as they increase their competitiveness. I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to go fast. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I hope I didn't. Mr. Smith?
No, I thought it was great. Thank you for the update. I guess I'll turn over to the board.
No, very impressed. Thank you.
Thank you all for your support. I wish everybody a happy and healthy holiday season.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to votes and resolutions. First up, the approval of November 19th, 2024 special public meeting minutes. Can I get a motion? First, Jamel. Mike Lewis. Michael. Any discussions or questions? Okay to vote? 5-0. Next up is the approval of November 26, 2024 regular public meeting minutes. Can I get a motion? First, Michael. Megan, second. Any discussion or questions?
I wasn't present for that, so I'll be abstaining on it.
Okay. Thank you, Henry. Okay to vote? All in favor? 4.
3.
Abstain? 1.
4.
4. Okay, good.
4, 1 abstain.
1 abstention.
All right. Next up, approval of CPSE, CSE, and 504 meeting summary memo dated December 4th, 2024. Can I get a motion? Jamel, Michael. Any discussion or questions? Need a vote? All in favor? 5-0. All right. Next up, October 2024 Treasurer's Report. Can I get a motion? Henry, second Jim. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? 5-0. Moving on to curriculum and instruction. There are 3. Okay to take as a block?
Yes.
Okay. Sections covers 2425-099 to 2425-101. Can I get a motion? First Jim, second Henry. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? 5-0. Moving on to human resources resolutions. There's 1. Can I get a motion? First, Jamel, Megan, second. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? 5-0. Next up, business and operations. We have a total of 3 in this section. Okay to take as a block? Okay, this will incorporate 2425-103 to 2425-105. Can I get a motion? First Henry, second Jim, L. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 5-0. Okay, personnel. Can I get a motion? Jim L. Can I get a second? Mike?
Mr. Smith, the personnel as amended.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. I get a motion for the personnel agenda as amended. So first, Jamel, second, Megan. Any discussions or questions? Okay to vote? 5-0. Ms. Kirschus, any communications?
Yes. Oh, sorry, not communications.
Okay. All right. Any additional discussion items?
None.
Okay. Additional comments from residents?
Yes. Yes, we have one. Mr. Mike Williams, can you please come up to the podium?
Good evening, Mike Williams, 3 Upper Course Way, Shoreham.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were wishing that I would leave with the rest of the crew, but I'm still here. This was really a night made in heaven for me, a grand slam. All those student athletes there, they did all the speaking for me tonight. You know, I'm in favor of adding turf fields, and these student athletes was only half of them. You can double the number, the noise, the excitement, and the accomplishments that they do. Actually, you can quadruple it because there were no JV teams here. And we only have one turf field to offer them. Just quadruple that noise, excitement, and accomplishments from tonight. I'd like to thank Mr. Poole and the Shoreham-Wading River Board of Education trustees for giving me the opportunity at the last board meeting to voice my and the hundreds of community taxpayers who signed the petition thoughts and perspectives on the turf fields and restroom facility proposal. I shared 2 weeks ago that there are 25 school districts in Suffolk County that found the need to have more than one turf field to give their student athletes the best opportunity to succeed. Those include neighboring districts, Rocky Point and Miller Place. I also highlighted the difficulty and impracticability the Shoreham-Wading River Athletic Department experienced this past fall, trying to schedule practices and games on one turf field for 8 high school teams. I understand the Hopog School District just recently passed a $60 million bond. $45 million of that allocated to turf fields. Obviously, they are a much larger district than Shoreham-Wading River. But that brings the number to 26 school districts in Suffolk County with more than one turf field. I am certain that that number will rapidly continue to grow, understanding turf fields are safer, reducing the number of injuries, and provide greater accessibility. I truly hope Shoreham-Wading River will be added to the list in the very near future. And that all starts with all of you at this table. Again, I thank you for your hard work. At this time, I would like to know what the board's present viewpoint on this proposal is, and what is currently being done to make this a proposition next May 2025, allowing the Shoreham-Wading River community to decide its importance. Thank you again for your time, and make it a good night, whatever's left of it.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. We appreciate it.
Is there a viewpoint now that the board can share on where we're going with this proposal?
Listen, well, I'm in the hot seat, I guess. I mean, from the standpoint of, the turf fields, obviously, there's a lot to consider, and there's, certainly we don't take any of these decisions lightly. I think that, we've had a very open dialogue as a board, both in public and in executive session, around, community, the benefits, things that we have to obviously consider when it comes to, the fiscal budget and how we support that. That being said, it's still an ongoing discussion. I don't think anything, as far as decisions are concerned, have been finalized. We certainly welcome, obviously, residents to reach out, to attend board meetings like you provide your opinion and your support, because we don't take those things lightly, and those definitely go into our considerations as we move these items forward.
So it is an ongoing discussion at this point. And
Nothing has been finalized, but it was still in discussions. Mr. Poole, I don't know if you have anything else that you want to comment
I
on.
think
but-
I'm recalling the last meeting, I know we wanted to bring it back to the Space and Facilities meeting on December 17th, and have them weigh in further with, I believe, some of the bond scenarios that were shared at the last meeting, and have them, opine and consider it as well.
so the process is that it goes back to the Space and Facilities Committee? Now, that's the next step?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I think that's an advisory committee of the board, and they will, consider it at the next meeting on the 17th, and then provide, their opinions to the board as well for additional feedback. The committee is comprised of a number of residents that are on the committee, so their thoughts and opinions on turf fields or other capital projects and a potential bond is valuable, and that is the next step.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
You too.
Thank you.
And ladies.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Any additional comments? All right. Before we adjourn, I just want to take a moment again to thank you, Stephanie, for all your hard work and all your support, throughout these years for us as a board. I know for me personally, you've kept me on the straight and narrow for, I mean, you could have told me where to sit tonight. I sat in Mr. Poole's seat by accident, but, I'll let it slide this time. But I just can't, again, I think, I'll let the rest of the board comment, but I just wanted to take a moment, even though we recognized you at last board meeting, that, just to say thank you again and for all your hard work and efforts, and we'll miss you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
All right. Okay to adjourn? Can I get a motion? Henry, second Jim. All in favor? 5-0.